Okay, continue with the previous video, Wusik Station 10 coding. And I want to do thing in the knob to allow me to show the label of the knob for the top knobs that don't have labels. Just letter like V for volume, P for panning, G for glide, U for unison, so stuff like that. So I'm going to have a show label option for those type of knobs. Then I'm going to use a timer for that. And I just have to call, check here, timer callback. Right. Right. I have two. Set show label, and show label is going to be true by default. So now what I need to do is on the create knob, I want to add another thing there too. So the multiplier, gear show value display, show label be false by default. Sometimes I sound like Duke Nukem. Is it? Show label. Then I'm gonna go knob, set show label. Show label. So now I go to the widget. Need to set a few things here. Show label is going to be on the mouse enter. Mouse enters the start making this like this because it's getting bigger. Avoid confusion. Like that. Then if set show label start timer, let's say 2 seconds. Let's take a look. So it's going to show label, set show label start time 200. And I can put the timer callback here because it's going to be very simple. Stop timer, repaint, then show label equals false. And this is not show menu. I'm going to do like that. Maybe like this. Put everything there. Now I have to check the rendering of the knob. It's also the mouse drag. Show label equals false. So as soon as you click or drag, it's going to show the value. Let's find a click now. Mouse down. Set value, render. There is a place that I get the label for the here string, the label equals get display if show label, set show label, and show label, then we get the label instead. Get label. And I may have to adjust the size, but let's test if the size is going to fit. Maybe I need to make it a bit wider. And now I can show the label for the first ones, the volume, the pen, glide, unison, tune, fine. The effect send doesn't need because it's already writing in the interface. That's the effect sign, so not a problem. I also need for mouse exit to be sure that the timer doesn't run anymore. This time running, stop, show value equals false just in case. Mouse timer callback is not going to call the timer again, so it just works for one time. Player volume. Is not doing, is not redrawing after 2 seconds. Have to check why. But it is removing after I start dragging, so good. Unison, glide, pen. I'm going to replace layer volume for just volume. Just have to check why the timer is not working. So mouse enter. If set show label, start timer, seconds. Of no mouse move. Move. Mouse down, mouse drag, mouse enter, mouse edit. There's no mouse move. Not show menu. Show label. Set show label. Let's put this like that. Repaints. It doesn't seem to be repainting. Timer callbacks is called. Label is called false. Repaint. Knob rendering. our value displays updated. I forgot to add. Otherwise, it doesn't update the display value. That's why it was not updating. Should look good now. And I want to add a few things in here. So if contains air volume. Oops, I put I put an XR in the end. Fire it. So let's test volume and a volume. So it stays for 2 seconds and goes away. Or if you click before that, it goes away right away. Goes away right away. If I quit, there is no problem. The menu, no problem too. Want to click. Let's see, volume, pan, glide, unison, tune, fine tune. It could be tune and fine because since it's one next to the other, doesn't need to be redundant like that. So fine tune, we just put fine. We have tune and fine. A lot of synthesizers use the terminology like that, so that should be okay. So now I'm going to put the rest of the amplitude, the amplitude envelope. And with that, I will have to start adding the code to draw my, how to say that, a custom stuff. Because this area here is going to draw the custom stuff that the Wusik Station 9 code has. So I hope I don't have to recreate this code because it's very complex code for this, for the envelope. This is a custom area for drawing lines and shapes and stuff like that. But I'm worried that in 4K it's going to get a bit slow to draw like that, so I have to check that. But open again. Actually, I'm not going to open here. I'm going to open here. So I can take a look at the names, stuff that I have to add now. So test background, the amplitude envelope. I have to check if I have created this guy here. So hard to read. Add some background color. Okay, there we are. Time, velocity, and this is going to be the the medium sized knob. So let's see, where do I declare it? Some people may wonder why I have so many files and how I'm distributing the code. Well, I have the data files. The data files is a singleton reference. So it's like a small box that gets created one time only. Even if you have like four Wusik stations in your host, the box with all the background images and other skin and setting files are going to be in this singleton box. So it's shared by all the code. We don't have to re load all the skin files and stuff like that. Skin files, skin settings. So we have the test background. Okay. Layer filter frequency. Left amp time. Time. Velocity. Key track. Velocity track. Curve type. It's linear or exponential. And I think that for the amplitude envelope, it's just those five guys. And then that area that I have to create. So let's take a look now at the names I'm going to give to those guys. Here I'm going to everything. So it's amplitude time, velocity, key track, velocity track, and yes, a lot of work. And then curve type. I have to do it for every object in the screen. There's no way of getting around that. Just have to be done. So amp time, here time, velocity, key track, velocity track, curve type. So now I have to create those guys in my skin file. Actually, I don't. If I use the edit option, I don't have to create as a skin file. We are going to default to the 0.0 positioning, and it's going to stay there. So it's not a problem. So now I have to create the amplitude guys. We're going to put in the right order, but it doesn't need to be. Positioning, layer over top, snow, knob, medium. And if I'm not mistaken, all those knobs are not pan knobs, so they are not -1 to 1, they are 0 to 1. So the center is not uh, well, you understand the knob that goes from left to right instead of from the center to left and center to right, something like that. I have to get the parameters. So parameters. Amplitude, which I don't think we have to get it, so I can go directly here. Get parameters. No. Oh, here, Wusik module, get parameters. Okay. So now I have to get the parameters, and there is no. What's the name now? Wusik multi-line. Have added here. I need to add that to be in first juice and the multi-line envelope. There we go. I can find these guys. Multi-line envelope. Not declared like that. Take a look. Line envelope. Oof. I just declared it like that. So, okay. Was multi-line envelope. I may use it. Need to open again. I don't remember everything. So enumeration. Envelope. Oh, it's maximum time. Maximum time. That's going to be time. Then you have time, velocity, velocity, velocity. Envelope sync. I don't remember what's used with envelope sync. I'm curious now. Inverted. Oh, okay. For the amplitude, we don't use inverted sync. That's why it's not in there. So okay, I have velocity now. The next one is going to be key track, key track, track, and then velocity track. Now let me move this. I don't need this at all. What's the other one? Display figure. Ah, okay. Velocity track. Velocity track. Then the final one, curve type, which is going to be the linear. Could you have used the same name, but yeah, not a big deal. So they all show the value display. So you can test. It should be all there. Oh, of course, the linear. I need to create the. Let me remove the curve type for now, because I need to create the on and off button. Which is going to be part of the knob code. So I was thinking on creating with the different name instead of knob, because it's going to be used for the text display, the knobs, the on and offs, and the menus too. But I don't know what name I could use. For now, I'm just going to leave like that. seem to drag the way I want. Let's create an option to move it, but it's not working. I have to improve this code. Okay, what's this guy? Layer, amplitude, velocity. Those- Showing this wrong way because I forgot to put overlay top. Well, it is correct. The same as the filter. I have to take another look at this. Oh, no, no, it's working. Ah, yes, I know. If I don't track. Guy, the time. Because I'm updating the positioning, but I'm not updating some other code. That's good. I'll have time and velocity. I am having a bit of a problem with the range of a few knobs. So right now I'm setting manually, but I would like to set this in another way. So you can see the velocity is moving very slow. Track is moving kind of slow. The time is moving very slow. I'm going to change that. I have created a how to say label and then I create a multiplier for that. So for the time is going to use 10. The velocity I'm going to use 5. And key velocity track I'm going to use 2. And see if the moves a bit better. Another thing I want to change is in the let me there are things. Okay. Is where I positioning the skin uh, sorry the, the position of the knob or whatever I'm changing. Want to do it a bit different way. They're equal. Like that. So if I hold control, I can move faster because the option to use the mouse to drag is not going to work because I changed a few things. So if key modifiers and key modifiers ignore key where's it my key modifiers flag. Where did I create it? key flag. Here's. Come on. So many things to remember. Oh, it's on the component. So many things to remember. Prior equals 10. And if it's shift, prior's 100. Just to help me out a bit. But there is a problem. Because as soon as I move it, it loses focus. I have to think in a way that I can move the components. But for now, I'm going to leave like that. I'm going to worry so much. We'll have to improve this eventually. So I have my time and velocity. They are in the perfect position. So this guy is their key track. Like, oh, I didn't lose focus as I was. It's working. It doesn't lose focus. It's just so when I move the mouse that it does. Far away. That's good. Looks good. I just need to create now the button graphics and display. So now I already have the key track now is moving much better with the mouse. The time too, I can use shift to move slow if I want. No, very slow. Velocity. Velocity is still too slow. So let me check the value that I put for velocity. Velocity 5 can be 8. Then I have to track if I created a button or not already, but I don't think I have. Oh, she's very slow. Let's try 16. The right place, velocity, yeah. Then I'm going to create a layer that looks exactly like my test background. It has all the sound generators. It should be a bit faster. I would say 24. Let's test the result. For the tuning, I had to use 40 because it goes from minus 48 to 48. So the mouse has to move a lot to change it. Can test it out again here. It's working. It has to move a lot the mouse, but the mouse a lot, sorry. But at least it's very easy to fine tune it. But velocity, you don't need fine tuning, so this should be okay. Time you have shift to fine tuning. Key track and velocity track already good. Now time is not working correctly. Jump to time. Remove it. Can kill it without resaving to the skin file. Strange, the maximum time is acting a bit weird. I have to check what's the save. Yeah. We can fix it. Perfect. Working now. Let me check if it's not the. Yeah. Going to create then. Just going to put all the same values here. They are in line. So time, velocity, key track, velocity track. Then I'm going to add all the sound generators like I have here: sample player, draw wave oscillator, audio looper, super oscillator, tree oscillator, and a wave sequencer. I'm going to create a layer with all that so I can draw and put the everything in the correct place. So let's try again now. Now edit enable is false. You know, it's very strange way. Before, like the shift was being hold. Now it's doing again. I press shift and it's not moving without the shift down. But the other ones are. So on another bug. Yeah, the shift up is not working. Okay, before I fix that, I want to remove one piece of code for the edit ski enabled. Mouse middle, okay. Mouse drag. I don't want to move the position anymore because it's very complicated because I'm using the mouse stay in position code, which breaks this. So better just remove it. So just now when I bounce down, I can check for the name. Pages. That's correct. Just check if you out and now the shift is weird. So key modifiers, multiplier. Ah, okay, I see the problem. Shouldn't be like that because this multiplier is no longer the shift multiplier, it's something else. So it should be extra multi or shift multiplier equals 1. And if this shift is down, equals that times that. Okay, fix it. That's nice. Sometimes when you reuse some code, they shift down. Okay, it's working with the shift down. Nice, very nice. Okay, and it seems to be fitting the text in that small square, so that's nice. like that. The menus are working. We're going to add another layer, or even better, instead of a layer, let me see how can I add a sound generator. Layer. No, it's not in there. It's on the modules. Code. Add new layer. Let's see. Layer empty. The first sample player. Here are going to add instead of adding an extra layer, check I can for testing. And I'm going to add what's the next one in the list here? Drawable oscillator. Just let me find it. Layer 3 oscillator. Oh, here, drawable oscillator. Load new module. And audio loop. We're just going to put those two because it's going to take a bit of extra stuff to handle that. So I don't want to add everything. Where's audio looper? Oh, here. Let's see. Let's test that out. So we have the audio oscillator, audio looper, and then sound generator, sample play. Forgot that I need to add another thing. When I created my double layers, I need to check for the sound generator here. I'm just checking for the sample player now. I have to add the other guys, so it's going to be a wave oscillator. Check the correct name. Oscillator. Overlay drawable oscillator. The size drawable oscillator. Then the audio looper. Oscillator. Audio looper. Now it should show up correctly. Sorry about that. Just messing up with the microphone. Okay, now I have the sample player, the draw wave oscillator, and the audio looper. And they seem to be going correctly for what I could see. Another thing I added is page down, page up, end, and home, the keyboard. So I like to work with the keyboard as I work with the mouse, so it's a nice touch. I'm also going to use the up and down buttons to change a parameter like we have already. Wusik Station version 9. So, okay. Let's start thinking now about this custom area, which is going to be a bit of pain to create. Or maybe not, I don't know. going to check now this, so let's see. We need to create another. Can close this for now. Later, I just open to check the position where I'm going to put a new widget. Where is it? My widget? Need to create a new one. Which one is the other? Copy and paste. Class layer. I'm going to move this up so it's easier to find. It will be after the component. Okay, that's correct. Need to create a class custom area, which is what I call I'm going to create as sex somewhere area because I don't know if I already used the custom area name before. Well, I can check that by going the plugin editor. What is the editor? Say here. Yeah, I already have a custom area object. So I want to create this a custom area for Wusik Station 10. Use the OS X then. Then of course going to have the position. Here's the tricky part. How am I going to draw this? Going to be very similar to the knob. Let me check my knob create constructor. And maybe I'm going to copy the whole knob instead. Because it has a lot of stuff that I already going to need. Because I'm going to need all the backgrounds that the knobs has also in the custom area. We have the decal, the background, the moving background. The panel background, no, I don't need that. Just a moving background. Then I need the position where I'm going to place it. And instead of parameter, I'm going to need the actual module. Oh, frame height, no need. Moving background, I need. The positioning. Top, what is the layer top? I don't is used for. Let's check it out. Oh, that's used for the panel background. Actually, I do need the panel background. Now there, I just remember because we have a panel there. It's just a transparent bit of transparency. You can see here, this is the panel already. And maybe if I want to add something extra there, I could. And another advantage having a panel background that I can draw the panel on top of everything, clipping my area that's below. But that's going to be a bit complicated. Let me see how the cached files for the panel looks like. Because maybe I'm going to have to change this and have the panel on top and this background on the bottom. It's not a hard change because the files are already separated. So I can do that. Not a big deal. Editor, think I may need this. Things I don't need. Actually, I don't remember. Yes, I need it. Thing I was thinking that I want to change something first before I continue with this. I want to check my value display. I'm using a text component. Okay. But to be honest, it's something else. I need a component that is outside of this class that I can share with the custom areas. So when a custom area needs to draw some value, some number or something, uh, I can use that instead. If you look like right now, if I move the mouse over something here, it shows a bit of information. And I was hoping that maybe would use that object instead. But then again, this object is very different. It's very has three lines, while my display value has just one line. So maybe I'm going to have to think on another way or create a component that allows more lines if needed. So the time is now. Let's create that. Just going to call like that. What I'm going to need for that? Well, a lot of stuff actually. The check. I don't remember how I'm actually drawing the text component. Check that. Rendering of the actual display render simple. Oh, I'm drawing the value display here. So I am passing the value display decal. Oh, it's in here. Okay. So instead, I'm going to use the decal, the background. This is where the value display gets drawn. Draws all the background, movie background, and panel information. Because there is no way of avoiding that. I can't combine them because it's not going to work the way I need. That's why they are all separate. And I still need to worry about when the mouse is very on the bottom because I can test. I need to add a new layer, but if the value displays is drawn on top of my overlay, it cuts a piece of the overlay. It's very rarely going to happen, but I need to worry about that. So the display value, I don't actually have a position. I'm going to need going to use from the decals parameter, frame height, background panel, background, layer top. Of these, I guess. I have to double check, but for now I'm going to leave it like that. Value display offset. Multiplier I don't need. Value display I'm going to use the decal instead. Show value display I don't need in here. And the end the text component which I do need. Okay, so value display offset Y I don't need. Value display positionings. I have that. Oh, I have to create the variables. Then I'm going to remove the ones that I don't need. This is going to take a bit of work, but it's going to be worth it. Good to be more organized. So text component. Let's complain because it should be in there. The value display I'm not going to use. On click no, so to have the background. Moving panel background overlay. Text components undefined. Oh, of course. Ugh. Sorry. Times I goof up. Oh, now it looks correct. So now we need to go decal equals decal. Value display, which was going to be the decal, we don't care. Show, we don't care. Flyer, either. The editor, I'm pretty sure I don't need. Frame height, I don't need. Parameter, I don't need. Positioning, I also not going to need. Stain, I don't need that. It's not going to be in the components list. It's going to be externally. So the mouse is not never going to be on top of it. Let's see what else. Parameter, moving background frame, total frames, layer top. I'm pretty sure I need it. Previous value don't need it. Previous position need it. Editor I don't need it. Show menu, multiplier, integer, show value display. Also don't need it. Over no. Set. Dated. Will show labels. So I don't need anything of those because I'm going to call directly from the knob. I'm going to tell this to render, and it's going to render correctly. So now I need to copy the render code. So I have the render simple we don't use. There's no going to be any mouse code. Okay, now I have the declaration, the rendering, and everything else. Number of lines. For now, for one, we're now going to hard code the number of lines. But the idea is that I can set things up in here. So yeah, it's going to be two guys. One is display value that's going to render the display image, and then the text that displays the text. So they are separated. Then I can check a few other things. I have the rendering now. Create now the rest of the code. Display value there. Render doesn't output anything. So I'm going to stop for now and maybe continue tomorrow. Already getting a bit tired. There goes my voice too. So again, thanks for watching. Bye bye.